What up, y'all? It's Truth Tiger. I'm here dropping more truth bombs. Today I'm going to talk about something that really makes me mad, something that really frustrates me, something that I've seen in my comment section, and of all the comments about people who have been narcissistically abused, this one scenario is the one that really boils my blood and the one that really makes me angry when I read about it, and that's the narcissistic husband who is narking out his wife. And there are several reasons why this really makes me mad. One, because as a man, you have a duty to protect your woman. You have a duty to look out for your woman. And, you have a duty to love your woman. You do. And the narcissistic husband is not fulfilling any of those duties. He's not doing any of those things. Sorry guys, it's raining. My windshield wipers are probably going to make some noise. Just bear with it. But yeah, he's not doing his duty as a man in any capacity, acting like that and going on like that, And look, I'm not some big you go girl kind of guy. I'm the type of guy that says a man needs to be a man. I'll call out the Jezebel spirit and, feminism, and I will call those things out. And, as someone like that, as a more conservative, red-pilled guy, as someone who is not afraid to even criticize women, like this scenario of a man, being abusive to a woman, of a narcissistic husband lying and gaslighting his wife, it's beyond gross. It's beyond gross, and I hate those cockroach guys. I hate men who abuse women, I hate these cowardly kind of men. They're not men at all. If they were actually a man and they were actually masculine, and, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do all the games and the gaslighting. They wouldn't constantly be, holding their wives on the end of a string like that. Yeah. A man who's actually a man does not do that. A man who's actually a man loves his woman and protects his woman and looks out for his woman and isn't trying to destroy his woman emotionally, That's what an actual man does, and that's how a man acts. And these narcissistic guys, they are not men whatsoever in any capacity, Any man who abuses women is not a man. And any man who abuses women is, that should not be swept under the rug in any capacity whatsoever. Especially like, it's one thing if if a girl was dating a guy for a few months and he was narcissistic, like that's bad, that sucks. But, to be married to some, to be in a marriage like that for 20 years and he's just constantly picking at her, like that's just so disgusting, that's just revolting, all I can say is disgust and anger and contempt. That's all I have for a man like that, really, and there's a lot more of that than you think. There's a lot of these guys that they'll act all nice in front of everybody, then when they're alone with their wife, and all of a sudden they're freaking out at her over nothing. All of a sudden they're yelling at her because she put the peanut butter in the wrong jar, in the wrong freaking cabinet or whatever, Yeah, they're blaming their day on her or whatever. And look, there's a lot of narcissistic women that do the same thing to men. I'm not denying that scenario, and I'll make videos talking about that. But this is just, I just felt like a fire in me, I remember I read one comment from someone, and just like, I've read a lot of these comments where it's like 20 years in marriage to just some freaking prick like that. Like, oh my God. Like, I wish I had like a little intelligent nugget or some, therapeutic-ish advice or something. I don't. It's just like, there's just no place for a man to be acting like that toward a woman, or for a man to be like that, or, you know, that's not a man at all. That's some little slug. That's some little cockroach. That's some little fool, you know, and not here, you know, not here. And look, I believe men should be, you know, the leaders and all that type of stuff, and that, you know, masculine leadership is important. And I want to point out that that's not masculine leadership. Some narcissistic guy who's you know, narking, sorry, I'm scratching my nose here, who's playing all these narcissistic games and mistreating women and using all this manipulation to get control, you know. There is nothing masculine or manly about a manipulative, weird guy like that at all. There's nothing alpha. There's nothing alpha about a guy like that. You know, and you'll hear some red pill stuff or whatever talk about how you should be manipulative and you should, you know, try to mess with a girl's self-esteem or whatever. And it's like, that's not what a man does. That's not what a man who is confident in himself does at all, you know. A man tells the truth. A man doesn't manipulate. A man has ethics. A man has morality. And like, I don't know what to say, but just to condemn this, you know, and to be thoroughly grossed out by this. Real quick, Amazon Basics fish oil gummies. These are awesome. I take them every day. Yeah, I got a link in the description. But yeah, like, back to it. Like, of all the narcissistic abuse scenarios I hear about, you know, parents to children is pretty gross. Wife to husband is gross. You know, friends, you know, siblings. It's all gross. But the husband who is supposed to take care of and love his wife, and who does that, and like, I've seen it and I've been around it so much, and the wife just gets so like, oh, he's my husband, he's so amazing, our family's so amazing, but underneath she's like, F this shit, you know, F this crap, like. And just like, if you're a woman in that, like, get away from that situation. Like, don't feel like you have to put on the fake smile and say you have such a great family when this freaking a-hole is just draining the life out of you, you know? And again, I say that as more of a red-pilled guy. I say that as a guy who's like pro-men and who wants men to be masculine, and a guy who will criticize feminism and stuff like that. Like, I say that as someone in that camp, that like, this is uniquely disgusting. And I see it so much. And I see a lot of these women, oh, you know, the husband and the kids, and they're like, I can tell in the back of their mind, they're like, get me out of here. You know, you go to church, you see it. You go around the corporate world, you see it. You go freaking everywhere, you see it, you know. These disgusting embodiments of Satan, embodiments of Lucifer. You know, the serpent hates the woman, you know. The serpent has contempt for the woman. After Eve eats the apple and shares it with Adam and the whole situation happens, now there's contempt between the serpent and the woman. And that's the serpentine contempt, is these narcissistic guys, you know. And it's all over the culture. It's all over everything. Nobody's talking about how a man should protect women. Nobody's talking about how a man should lead their family in the right kind of a way, you know. Nobody's talking about how a man makes sacrifices, you know. A man takes the bullet, you know. Nobody's talking about that, you know. I'm saying you know a lot, but, you know, nobody's talking about that, because you have all these effeminized beta males, and what's an effeminized beta male going to do? Is he going to stand up for his family? Is he going to protect those around him? No, he's going to be a selfish little weirdo. He's going to be a pissy little weirdo. Like, these narcissistic guys they're not alpha males. They're not men. They're weird little boys. They're horrible freaking people, you know? And they're all over our society. They're little cowards. They are nasty little cowards. And yeah, you know. Alright, I'm probably going to end this video here. kind of a rant, but you know, that's something that the Truth Tiger really stands against, is men who narc out women, and especially in long-term marriages. And you know, God is going to do justice to those kind of men. Believe you me, you know, God will judge a man on how he treats his family, on who he is as a man, who he is as a father, who he is as a husband. And these kind of men are going to get the freaking hammer of a judgment dropped on them by God. You know, believe you me, like, this is one of the most disgusting things. This is so gross. Yeah, so, alright, God bless everybody. I'm going to end it here, and I'll see you next time.